Resuming. Okay, so just got done talking about Brian, and basically, yeah, PS3. If I find a good co-op game, I'll drag him in on this, but no promises or anything. Like, bit on my plate at the moment. Busy, and it would have been nice if he had the Resistance games, because then it's like, oh shit, we can just play those. I'm not going to actively go out and look for a co-op PS3 game to play with him, though, so if I find one and want to play it, he's first on my list of people to get in touch with. But until then, what to talk about? Maybe, yeah, okay. I'm just going to go over in detail why I like this game for a while. And not like, I'm going to try and be as fanboy hype-ish as little as possible. Growing up, I had only a Game Boy Advance. It eventually became an SP, but it was Game Boy Advance to start with. So my sister, who was going to college at the time, she got a PS2 for Christmas, a big old bulky one. I have a slim one. It's sitting on my desk over there. But she got the big old bulky stand-on-its-side one. And she had a bunch of games for it. And I was fascinated by them because, I grew up on the Game Boy Advance. I had played, Mario World, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Zelda the Minish Cap, Pokemon Sapphire, all your basic Nintendo games that I still have and play because those are fucking awesome games. But the PS2 was like a different breed of game. It was a completely higher set of graphics. I could play them on the TV. There was challenge, there was voices, it was amazing. And a lot of my favorite games are on the PS2 as a result. One of the games that she had was Okage Shadow King, which I only ever played up to the church basement. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Yeah, and I was intrigued because, it seemed like an interesting enough game. She moves out a few years later, and I was busy, playing Ratchet and Clank on her stupid PS2. Escape from Monkey Island, which I plan on doing the Monkey Island games at some point, but maybe not 3 because I don't have that one, and unless I can find it on, like, Good Old Games or something like that, then I'm not going to bother with it. I know the first 2 are on Steam, and I have the first 2. Escape from Monkey Island's on 4, or Escape from Monkey Island is the 4th one, and it's on PS2, which I have. Tales from Monkey Island is, I think, on Steam. So, yeah, I do plan on doing the Monkey Island games eventually. But for now, back to the PS2. Oh, shit, the video lagged for me. I don't know if that's going to show up in, like, the post there or not, but the video definitely lagged for me there. Which, is never something I like to see. PS2 games. So, I grew up playing a bunch of Ratchet and Clank. And, obviously, when I got a PS2, my priorities were, the Ratchet and Clank games. And I played and beat all those, and then it was like, oh, I want more of this. I got the Sly games, I got Jak and Daxter, I got Psychonauts, which I also plan on playing at some point. And, yeah, I was walking through a video game store one day. I forget what I was there for, but I happened to pass right by my head a copy of Okage Shadow King. And it was like, oh, hey, look at that. That's a game my sister had and I played, and it was fun. And it's like $10, so I get it. And I go home and I play it, and I realize it's a really fucking funny and fun game. It looks beautiful. I love this sort of art style. The music, holy shit, I could spend this entire hour just talking about the music. The music is fucking beautiful. The characters are nice and funny. The world is interesting. It's like Stan. It's got all this. It's very surprisingly has a rich amount of lore, but it has the problem where it tells you the lore and doesn't really show you. Like, let's take this time for me to knock off some of the problems I have with this game. She mentions Rosalind, like the Heroes College and the Royal City, and we never see those. Those would have been nice to see, but we never see them. I like what we do see. There's a vast open world that the best parts of it I haven't even gotten to in my playthrough yet. But yeah, it's like they bring up all these places, and it's just I'd like to see those. And if there were a sequel to this, I might have been able to see those, but there wasn't. So I'm never gonna see those. Other things I don't particularly care for in this game. The battling, I like turn-based combat, but even for that, it's simplistic. I like the animations they have of like jumping between the enemies and sometimes going during another enemy's turn if it's a benign move. But it is very simplistic combat with very simplistic, equipment and stats. You get one piece of clothing, one accessory, and one weapon. That's really all you can buy at the stores. Other things I don't particularly like about the game. The spike in difficulty is a little obnoxious. I will say that. There's a significant difficulty spike, a couple of them actually. After the second boss, Bubble Evil King, it dumps you in the Escapeless Abyss, which is a nightmare. It's insane. And then after that, you have a Big Bull as the boss fight, who is equally insane. It's like, good lord. And then it tones down again for this. Like, I talk about this in the video, which is never going to be heard, but this particular dungeon that I'm in is freaking easy. It's really, really easy. And there's only this one floor, really. Like, there's nothing else in the dungeon. It's this one floor, like 7 or 8 urns, I can't remember, I lost count. And, on the second floor, the basement, she's waiting for you there. There's one door you go through, and boom, she's right there. It's really, like, just, why would you do that? Like, why not make it a slightly harder dungeon? The last dungeon wasn't particularly hard, but, there were multiple floors, and it was kind of fun to go through. This one, it's just kind of boring. There's a giant maze. So yeah, the design, the dungeon layouts, I'm not a fan of. The dungeons suck. Let me just say that all the dungeons suck. They're either too easy or too obnoxiously hard. I can't think of a single dungeon that's like, yeah, that was a good dungeon, except for Big Bull's dungeon. Except for Big Bull's dungeon with the invisible walls and whatnot. Not great dungeon design. And that's really a shame, because that's what this is. Run around on the overworld, find the Evil King, go into the dungeon, and beat him. And then it's right back to it. Yeah, but that's really it for the gameplay. But the story holds it together so well. I listed my problems with the game. Despite them, this is still my favorite game. It's fun to play, and it's beautiful. I just like this game. Other favorite-ish games, I suppose, without going too much into them. Dark Souls, the first Ratchet and Clank, Super Mario World, it's, classic platformer. No More Heroes. I plan on doing No More Heroes very soon. No More Heroes is a fucking fun game. Just assassins killing each other. I love that sort of shit. Which means, I'm going to play Mad World as well, but save that for after No More Heroes. Since No More Heroes does it better, in my opinion. How much? 23 minutes. That's roughly 10. I can go keep talking for this part for a few more. We're almost half done. Oh, what else can I talk about? See, this is the problem. This is why I don't like Post. There's nothing for me to talk about. Like, when I was playing the game, I was commentating on the game. With this, it's just like, okay, now I've opened a door. Oh, there's an urn there. A door seems to have opened somewhere. Really, Ari? Where could it be? Where could that door be? That's what I say in the video. And it's funny because it's riddled with sarcasm, and it's just like, the door was right there, obviously, but... Yeah. You know, playing it again, just watching it, commentating on it, it's just, like... I don't like doing it. I don't think anyone likes doing post-commentary. It's not as good as live commentary, in my opinion. But that's one man's opinion. God, anything in particular I want to talk about? Nothing is really leaping to mind. Any particular gaming controversies I can talk about? Fuck Phil Fish. And that's about it. Nope, just nothing. I've defended why I like this game. I've pointed out the problems I'm willing to acknowledge with this game. Other games like it. I have Tulip. I got that one a few years ago. It's alright. It's weird and quirky, but it's just, it's not for me, really. Go around, people know the game. Game Grumps played it. Go watch them. I don't think they finished it, though. It's a weird and quirky-ish game, but it's just not for me. I prefer this kind of weird and quirky, where I honestly believe it is satirizing and parodying all the sorts of JRPGs that came before it. To a certain extent. It's making its own decent, very good in my opinion. Not even decent, it's just very good. It's making its own very good JRPG while at the same time making fun of other JRPGs for the sort of tropes that they use. Sort of like what Airplane or Cabin in the Woods did. They were making fun of that type of movie, but they're still a decent movie for that in their own right. And I just like that about this. Dodgeball did it too. The only reason I remember Dodgeball is because I have it on DVD. It's sitting right there, and I can see Ben Stiller's muscular arm on the thing. Dodgeball's a good movie. I like Dodgeball. Good lord. It's hard commentating for, well, I should probably take a break here. Alright, once this fight thing's concluded, that'll be the end of the episode. Do the experience bullshit nonsense, and I'll cut there. Oh, I leveled up. Level 30, that's right. He gets level 30 and no one else does. See? And break.